existing protections. But you know, as you asked that question about crowdfunding, when people ask me that question, I say, well, what protects you now? You know, when you go out and you buy, let's say you go buy, again, just use IBM, you go buy IBM, you go buy penny stock, and it goes out of business. What really protects you? There are some protections afforded to you, but understand that when you're going into this new asset class, because essentially that's what crowdfunding is going to be, when it comes to the security side of it, you know, you do have the SEC, you do have FINRA. I'm a registered broker, so at the end of the day, if I do anything crazy, you have FINRA, who actually I used to work for. You left that part out of my introduction. I used to work for FINRA, and what happens there is that they are the actual group that regulates the over-the-counter market. So even if you've got a broker now that does something wrong, you can lodge a complaint. You can lodge a complaint to the federal government through the SEC. You can lodge a complaint through, about the broker through FINRA for the broker-dealer. I think the thing is here is that, you know, we live in a very litigious society, and I think that's the only thing that does so much scare me about crowdfunding, is that there's a lot of education that's going to have to take place. And that education is going to have to take place on the part of the issuer, that education is going to have to take place on the part of the investor. So one of the things that we're doing, I'm also on the board of directors for the Georgia Crowdfunding Association, where we're going to get into that education of what it takes, because failure is not necessarily fraud. And I think as this thing comes out and begins to get started, remember, a company's failure is not always fraudulent. Companies fail. They absolutely do. And startups fail more than most other companies. So there will be situations where, just like if you're buying it's a speculative investment. So if you're taking a speculative investment, there's a chance you could lose everything that you put in it. In the same way you go to Vegas and you walk into the Cosmo and you walk into the Flamingo and it's the same thing. I know there's many casinos. But as you walk into these places, you never take more out of your pocket than you're willing to lose. So you have to do your due diligence, and the same thought process that you would look into putting in a good company or a company that's in registered stock. You do the same thing when you go for the crowdfunding investment.
I beg to differ. There's some people that mortgage their home. But William, I want you to share some information about blackcrowdfunding.net. You talked about crowd